In Port Charles, the air has grown thick with secrets, betrayal, and the steady hum of conflict that threatens to erupt at any moment. As a new week begins, General Hospital unveils a cascade of escalating tensions and power struggles that promise to leave no soul untouched. This isn't just another week in the sleepy hospital corridors or mafia-laced alleyways, it is a reckoning in every sense. With the week of June 16 to 20 teetering on the edge of chaos, the unraveling begins with the return of Jason Morgan's silent precision, the instability of Drew Kane's emotional spiral, and the arrival of a new adversary whose ambition could shift the entire foundation of Port Charles. The first tremor in this volatile chain reaction arrives with Gent Sidwell, a name unfamiliar to many but whose presence strikes immediate discord. Sidwell does not arrive in Port Charles with fanfare or subtlety. Instead, he comes armed with a mission: to dismantle Sonny Corinthos' iron grip on the city. The mob boss, long revered and feared, finds himself facing a new threat, not with bullets or betrayal, but with a man who understands power differently. Sidwell is clinical, calculated, and devoid of nostalgia. His declaration to see Sonny's reign end isn't a threat, it's a promise. Sonny, blindsided by Sidwell's directness, wears an expression that's rarely seen on his weathered face: uncertainty. Sidwell's motives remain obscured, but one thing is clear: this newcomer sees the mob not as a necessary evil, but a disease to be eradicated. And Sonny may soon realize that the most dangerous enemy is the one who doesn't come from the streets, but from within the system. Elsewhere, another confrontation simmers with equal intensity but rooted in years of pain, guilt, and fractured friendship. Lulu Spencer's return has sent ripples through the lives of those who once called her a confidant. In particular, her icy tension with Brooklyn Quartermain has reached a dangerous boiling point. As Lulu unleashes a scathing accusation, one drenched in both betrayal and wounded pride, Brooklyn's composure cracks. With Maxie Jones playing the ever-hopeful peacemaker, hoping for reconciliation between the two women, it all comes crashing down with a single, blistering punch. Brooklyn's fist finds Lulu's face, and years of resentment explode in that moment. What was supposed to be an intervention of healing has become an all-out war. Maxie, blindsided by the failure of her plan, is left to pick up the emotional shrapnel of a friendship that may now be irrevocably broken. In the quieter corners of the chaos, Sasha Corbin's storyline takes a dark and disorienting turn. Haunted by recent traumas and living on fragile ground, Sasha finds herself yet again on the edge of unraveling. The cryptic warning, "This should never have happened," hangs in the air like a specter. Whether it references her entanglement in the Corinthos family web, or perhaps a revelation regarding Daisy, Sasha's shocked expression tells a story of betrayal that hasn't yet been fully revealed. The weight of motherhood, coupled with lingering grief and psychological scars, has made Sasha increasingly vulnerable. Her fate, as always, seems precariously tied to forces outside her control. In another corner of Port Charles, Carly Spencer is pulled once more into the eye of a storm she thought she had escaped. This time, the storm's name is Drew Kane. What once felt like a partnership rooted in shared loss and ambition is morphing into something more unsettling. Drew's descent has been slow, nearly imperceptible at first, but now, the signs are clear. His obsession with control, with rewriting the narrative of his failures through Willow, has begun to take a darker tone. Jason Morgan, ever the watchful protector, sees it before anyone else. His warning to Carly that Drew won't give up is not just about persistence, it's about possession. Drew, undeterred by reason or the mental and emotional wreckage left in Willow's wake, proceeds with his next move, a marriage proposal. The optics are polished, public affection, declarations of love, but beneath it lies something more insidious. Willow, still visibly shaken from her recent breakdown and the devastating loss of custody over Wiley and Amelia, is not the image of a woman ready to rebuild. And yet, Drew pushes forward, convinced that binding her to him through marriage will fix the void that grows larger by the day. It is not love that drives him, it is desperation. Desperation to rewrite the narrative, to hold on to the last remnant of what he believes proves his worth. But the very act of proposing to someone who is emotionally unwell and visibly unraveling reveals Drew's state of mind more than anything. This is not about Willow. This is about control. About ownership. About a man whose ego cannot handle loss. Willow, once the symbol of serenity and moral compass, is caught in a psychological chokehold she doesn't yet recognize. What began as grief and anxiety has turned into a waking nightmare of manipulation. She is isolated, emotionally battered, and now being presented with a romantic commitment by the very man who may be at the center of her downfall. If she accepts, she may never fully extricate herself from Drew's tightening grip. If she refuses, she risks setting off a chain reaction in Drew that could cost her far more than just her sanity. Amid all this turmoil, Jason finds himself in a position he hasn't held in years, not just as an enforcer or silent protector, but as the only person willing to stand between Drew's manipulation and Willow's total collapse. Jason's return to Port Charles was marked by quiet observation, but the time for silence may be coming to an end. With Carly leaning on him once more, and Michael beginning to suspect Drew's true nature, Jason may be forced to intervene in ways that put him on a collision course with his own brother. The week of June 16 to 20 doesn't offer moments of peace, it offers tipping points. Gents Sidwell's crusade against Sonny threatens to upend the criminal balance of power. Lulu and Brooklyn's explosive confrontation could unravel the already delicate fabric of the Quartermain family. Sasha teeters on the brink of another emotional collapse, with whispers of loss that haven't yet been revealed. And Drew, blinded by his obsession with Willow, may push her so far into submission that she forgets who she was before him. This is not a week of healing. This is a week of unraveling. In Port Charles, peace has always been temporary. And for those who think they're in control, Sonny, Drew, even Jason, the coming storm will remind them that nothing, and no one, is ever safe for long.